Hello, it's Rob from Fountain Pen Journey. A few weeks ago I did a pen mail video and I covered these BAOKE pens, B-A-O-K-E. It's a Chinese brand that I know absolutely nothing about. To be honest, looking at the way that it's been spelt in capital letters, I did have a sort of sneaking suspicion that it could be something along the lines of Bauer, B-A-O-E-R-R-E, the Chinese pen manufacturer, but it isn't. These came from Roscoe's Pens here in the UK. So I'm going to just pronounce them as BAOKE, B-A-O-K-E. I can't imagine how else you pronounce them in Chinese. It may not even be pronounced that way at all. But anyway, so these pens, basically, design-wise, are identical. These are the BAOKE PM. Now, the definition between the two is fairly straightforward. One's silver and one's gold. The silver one is the BAOKE PM 128, and the gold one is the BAOKE PM 126. So the number 126, 128 just seems to be the colour. And I bought two of these because they were extremely cheap, and I really like the look of them. They've got a very 1960s sort of feel and look to them. Very similar to things like the Schaefer Lady fountain pens, which I really like, and it just looked, rather than your classic black cigar shape, these things looked a little bit more 60s, 70s, contemporary, if you like, which I really like the look of. So I fancied both of these, the silver and the gold. I don't normally go for gold pens, but I really did like the look of these. They are apparently both medium nib pens. Now I think there is a difference, quite a difference between the width of the lines that I'm getting. But anyway, we'll see that in the writing sample. So these pens have got little indentations all the way. I mean, they've got these striations up and down the length of the cap and the barrel, with these little indentations all the way along, which to be honest, you can't actually feel them because they are recessed, and you tend to feel the ridges of the striations more than anything else. So I think they add quite a little bit to the overall design of these pens. It does look rather attractive. In the right light, they are very very pens as well. Attractive metal pens. Now, we'll talk about the weights and things in a minute. We'll just go through the overall design of the pen to start with. So right up, I mean, both pens are absolutely identical. Same pen, different colour. So top of the pens, slightly domed mirror polish, couple of ridges down to sort of finial on the end, and a clip corresponding to the colour of the pen. It's all exactly the same colour. So whether these have all been plated as one, I don't know. And the clips are stiff, but very functional. Down here, I'll show you the silver one. BAOKE, B-A-O-K-E. PM 128. BAOKE PM 126. So there we go. As we've discussed already, yeah, barrel tapers down to the end, and there are similarly ridged, I don't know, features to the finial there. Satisfying and easy to uncap. Very nice. I shall hold this up to the microphone so you can hear it. This is the capping sound. very, very solid. Now, I have had absolutely no hard starts whatsoever with these pens. I've had a bit of burping, but nothing outlandish. There is a cap liner in there. Might even be a bit of ink on there, which I shall wipe away because I managed to knock my pen pot over. So, very nice length. It's a very good length. The section, a little bit on the small side, but my fingers fit onto it perfectly. There is a step up here on the barrel, which you can just about feel, but, you know, seriously, you're not going to notice that. The pen does sort of, no, it really, no, I thought it did. Let's try it. I've got ink on this where I've tried to wash off some of the ink that's stuck on there. No, the pen does not post, but it's a very comfortable length. Steel nib, nothing fancy. The gold 126 model comes with a gold coloured, gold toned nib. And it's ornate, plastic feed underneath, nothing spectacular. So, let's do a writing sample with these two pens. Decently wet nib, lays down ink very, very well, no ink starvation issues, nothing like that. Really, really good. I'm very impressed with these pens. Just put a line under that. Oh no, wait a minute, one more thing. Ink. I love this ink colour. Excuse me. This is a Pure Pens ink made by Diamine. Pure Pens Celtic Sea. Now, if you're familiar with the Pure Pens Celtic Sea, not Seas, Sea. If you're familiar with the Diamine Shimmertastic inks, Enchanted Ocean is this lovely sort of, I don't know, teal blue colour. And I have a very strong suspicion that this is that ink, but without the shimmer particles in, because it seems to be the same. So I really love that ink. But if you're after a non-shimmer version of that colour, Pure Pens Celtic Sea is going to be that ink. So very, very nice writer, very, very nice ink too. Put a couple of lines under that and move on to the BAOKE PM 126, the gold version. There's a bit of water from rinsing the cap out. Right. You do get a little bit of line variation with these nibs, but I really wouldn't push them too far because they really aren't flex nibs. little bit of a drier ink, this one. But I would also say that this pen, the 126 Gold, has a finer line than the silver 128. There's not a lot in it, but I do feel that the 126, the gold one, does, I don't know, it does seem to be a drier, finer writer. But, you know, everyone's pens are going to be different, because these are mass-marketed, mass-produced pens, and the nibs are always going to be slightly different in pretty much any pen. There's no hard and fast rules on these things. So this ink is Pure Pen Saltire. Oops. Sometimes I've seen this as being listed as Pure Pen Saltire Blue, and it's a very standard sort of dark blue colour ink. Excuse me. I'm going to talk about reverse writing with these pens as well, because I know that some people find it useful. So I'm not using any pressure at all here, and it is not scratchy whatsoever, and it keeps up writing. So that's the gold one. I shall do the BAOKE PM 128 silver now. Yeah, decent quality nibs on these pens. So, how do they compare with another metal pen, which I shall use my reference standard of the Lamy All-Star, of whatever colour variation I happen to be using this week? About the same, pretty much identical. Obviously a lot narrower, uncapped. Just use the silver one for this little side by side, a little bit shorter, and of course it doesn't cap, so that is that little comparison. I'll talk about the weight as well, because I know with metal pens everyone always assumes that they're going to be very heavy, which is not always the case. So let's pop the Lamy All-Star back on here. 22 grams all up. The BAOKE PM 126, 27.6. There shouldn't be much difference. 26.8. Yeah, you're not going to notice a gram here and there. Was something else I was just about to say, and that has gone completely out of my head. Oh, uncapped, of course, that was it. 17.7 grams for the PM128. 18.3 grams for the PM126. So, metal pens, but not massively heavy metal pens. They seem to be very well made. I'm not saying that these are, you know, the highest quality metal pens you can get, certainly not for the price, because these were very, very cheap. But they are attractive, and if you're after this type of design, which I'd say is very sort of late 20th century, contemporary, modern, yeah, these are good pens, worth looking up, so definitely get a thumbs up from me. And they are exceedingly good quality writers. I was very, very surprised by this. Being a completely unknown brand to me, BAOKE, never heard of them. They were so cheap it was worth taking a risk, and to be honest, I would have paid more for these if I'd have known how good these pens actually were. There is only one gripe that I have with these pens. The converters, now, they are standard international, so you can swap them out. You can put standard international ink cartridges into these pens, or swap them out for any old standard international ink cartridge converter. Could use one from a Jinhao, for example. They all fit. But the converters that came with these are, I don't know, not very good quality. It's really difficult to get a full fill of ink. I think the first 3 to 5 times I tried filling both of these pens, I was getting half a fill of a converter. I don't know whether the converters don't seat very well inside the section. Could be something like that, and we're getting a bit of an air gap somewhere which is not drawing up enough ink in through the feed to fill the pens. Could be something like that, but just bear that in mind. The converters that these pens both came with aren't very good. So I'll probably swap those out for a different converter, because these really are great pens to write with. So I hope you found this video interesting. Please let me know if you've heard of BAOKE, this brand, before, and if you have, provide me some information, please. I'd really appreciate that in the comment section down below. Hope you found this video useful, and I shall see you next time. Bye.